Daniel, the sixth chapter, verses 3 through 10. When you have it, say amen. The Word of God reads, Then this Daniel was preferred above the president and princes, because an excellent spirit was in him. And the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom. But they could find none occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. Then said these knuckleheads, then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors, the princes, the counselors, and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and the Persians, which altereth not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now then when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, keynote, as he did aforetime. I want to tell you a quick story. I was driving down the road, and as I was driving down the road, Pastor Mark, I was on the freeway. And while I was on the freeway, driving down the road, inside the car, there was this gnat. A little bitty old gnat that began to right in front of me. And as it began to buzz and began to move back and forth of the windshield while I was driving down the road, it started to get on my nerve. I'm doing about 75, conservatively speaking, down the freeway. And this little gnat kept shifting from one side to the next side, getting on my last nerve. So while I'm driving, what I did is I reached right over, I grabbed my towel while I'm driving down the freeway, and I began to try to swat at this gnat. And I kept missing. Then I swung a little bit found myself weaving the lane, and I pulled myself back over. Thank God that I was literally driving my wife's car, and I got that beep, 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 you're leaving the lane warning. And I said, okay, this gnat is on my nerve, but I'm going to deal with this gnat because it kept on buzzing in my face. So what I did is I found an exit, literally poured over, and I took that towel and I tried to swat it, and I missed again. It's like this gnat just kept bouncing. So I took the towel and I wrapped it in my fist. And I reached right up there where that gnat had landed. And I went and I took a swing at the bam. And I thought I hit it, but what I did is I shattered my windshield. I shattered my wife's windshield. I want to talk to you briefly from the topic of this morning. Stop swatting at gnats. I literally, after I swung at this gnat, and broke the windshield, this gnat looked like it just popped right back out of my swing. It began to buzz in my face. Lord spoke to me, Pastor Mark, and let me know that I was too busy swatting at a gnat, and because I gave the gnat the attention that it didn't deserve, it ended up costing me more money, costing me more time. I wasted a whole lot of energy swinging at this raggedy gnat. The Lord just gave me to tell you this morning, listen, quit swinging at gnats because the life expectancy of a gnat is only 2 weeks. They gonna die off on their own. All you got to do is keep on doing what the Lord told you to do and keep on pressing in the direction that the Lord told you to go, and that gnat that you're trying to fight is eventually going to die anyway. I started the car back up after I broke the windshield and made a few calls because I was thinking like, Lord, if I drive my wife's car home with this busted windshield, it's going to be an issue. Please let somebody have a windshield in stock so I can drive over there same day and get this windshield swapped out, and my wife would never have to even know about the whole situation. But God would have it that they didn't even have it in stock. I had to wait 2 weeks, actually 3 days, for this thing to actually get in stock to be able to get it put in place. Let me help you real quick this morning. If you look at the text and you already know the story, Daniel was accused by a bunch of gnats who went to go talk to the king to have a problem with what he was already doing, serving God. Can I help you out? Gnats will show up in your life when you ain't doing nothing but serving God, and they're going to bring accusation, they're going to bring accusion, they're going to try to make a statement about what you're doing, and they're going to always bring something up to try to get you to give them the attention. Listen, the fungus gnat lives on fungus. If you remove the fungus, the gnat would die off a whole lot quicker. The fungus is the attention that you give the gnat. Now, when I was swatting at the gnat, I noticed that it was moving around a whole lot more. But if I would have just did what I did after I drove off, I simply drove, I ignored the gnat, I let the window down, and eventually that raggedy thing went ahead and right on out the window. Stop giving attention to folks when you know you serving God, when you know you living for the Lord, when they are got something to say about what you're doing. Stop giving them the attention because they ain't nothing but a gnat that's going to die off anyway. Are y'all with me? I only got 2 points, and it look like my daughter already got point number 2 up for me right now, because I don't want to give you nothing other than what the Lord gave me. The reality is, if you stop feeding that attention attention to people, to situations, and you start focusing on God. What did Daniel do? Daniel, when they made the accusation, when they made the lies and came up with this whole conspiracy and went to the king, you know what Daniel did? He continued to do what he was doing. He continued to walk according to the principles that he was walking in. He didn't go and say, hey, king, me and you need to talk because I didn't heard about this decree and I wasn't even there, a part of the conversation to be had. Listen, that's a sub point anyway. Listen, when people are coming into your life and they got a lot to say about somebody else, but they're not willing to have that person present, please understand that those are gnats that are trying to get you to have some sort of issue with them. And God may have already predestined for you to be connected with a person so that you can be with them to help reach your purpose, but because you listening to the gossip that they are bringing, you listen to the drama that they are bringing, you can't even have the connection that you're supposed to have. Stop listening to gnats that come together that got something to say about your brother or sister in Christ. Stop listening to them. And gnat's a lying demon anyway. And that will always have something to say about somebody. And here it is, you can't see what they see because you don't have the proximity that the gnat has. You understand what I'm saying? Quit letting the gnat block your blessing. Stop letting the gnat stop you from getting where you need to go. The fungus is the attention that you give the gnat. If you simply ignore the gnat, guess what? You ain't got to kick the gnat out. The gnat gonna kick itself out. You ain't got to worry about what the gnat's saying. The gnat gonna leave because you ain't giving them the attention, and the fungus is not feeding him, and he's gonna die off. But be ready for when the gnat leave, they go and lie about why they left. Be ready for that when the gnat walk away, that they're going to try to stir up some fungus in somebody else's life. You want to know why? Because when they see they can't get to you, they're trying to find the next victim. Listen, there's some gnats that will fly around in the house of God. And listen, you don't need to fan them away. All you need to keep doing what it is God told you to do. I done came to the house of the Lord to hear what the word of God has to say. I ain't got time to listen to your buzzing. I ain't got time to hear your information. I don't got time for your drama. I need to get to my destination so that I can accomplish what it is God has me to accomplish. Give God a hand praise on this Sunday morning.